So let's talk about why do I have so much anxiety trading in my Tesla that I've loved for years right there. Here, this is what I'm doing. I'm trading in that for that. So first of all, when it comes to electric cars, is there anything better than a Tesla? When you think electric cars, that's the first thing you think. Hey, electric car, Tesla. Electric car, Tesla. I mean, I've always wanted one of these ever since the first thing that Elon Musk and Tesla launched was the Roadster. But unfortunately, I just lost my 150K. I don't know, it's somewhere around here. I just misplaced it. So, but I've always wanted one. I'm a car guy. I'm not a super geek car guy. Like, I don't know everything about it. I can't take engines apart or anything like that. And I don't really know what's in it, but I'm very interested into where the technology is going. And of course, electric cars are the future. I mean, they are here. It's undeniable. And the fact is like when you actually get it, people always ask, it's like, what's it like owning an electric vehicle? I said, there is no explanation. You got to sit in it. You got to drive it, and you got to test it. That's it. It's like when the horse and the car came out. It was like, what's it like owning a car? Well, you got to do it. You got to drive it. There's no other explanation for it. So then the Model 3 came out, and I actually was able to afford it and get my hands on one. This was a couple of years ago. And of course, when you look at the cost calculation, you look at, hey, maintenance cost, there is none. Okay, fuel, there is none. It becomes a pretty good economic incentive to be able to do this. Then I started driving it. The torque, the acceleration, the fact that I have a gas station at my house and I literally just plug it in. All of these things, you start really falling in love with the Tesla and ultimately an electric vehicle. So full transparency, I don't work for Orchard Ford, but I've loved all the people there for years. They've just been fantastic people. So I've always had dealings with them and had Ford vehicles in the past. And then one day, they called me up and said, hey, have you ever tested this new MachE? This little electric Mustang? And I'm like, yeah, no. No. What? You have an electric car? Yeah, no. No. It's like, my mind was like, electric car, Tesla. That's it. There was no discussion, like zero discussion. And the first thing, and then, they kept going. I said, okay. I said, maybe I'll take it. Maybe I'll look at it. I looked online. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then I said, maybe I'll take it for a drive. But instantaneously, even before I actually drove it, I had this massive anxiety that came up. Because it's not like you're switching brands, right? It's not like you have a truck and you're switching to another brand or another vehicle of a truck or sedan, vice versa. Because you can imagine the feeling of it because the cars are relatively the same. But when you're going from an electric, that essentially Tesla is the quote unquote started the whole electric. There's a lot of unknowns because I've never driven another electric vehicle, like fully EV out there. Again, I'm not a full car guy. I'm just a regular dad who drives his kids to school and goes skiing to the mountains, goes camping, and goes to work. So the first kind of anxiety that I had was when I know the exact range. I know if I got 52% of battery life, I know I can get to Big White. It takes me 42% to get to Big White, and it takes me 4% to get down, and I can get home. Right? I know exactly the range. I know if I got to go to Vancouver, I got to stop in Merritt for 17 minutes and I got to stop in Hope because this is a standard range. No problem. You sit back, you watch Netflix. And by the way, going to Vancouver costs you $12. So anybody with a gas car, I just kind of laugh at them. So you know exactly what that is. I also know the acceleration. Right? I also know how fast it can go, etc. So you get to definitely know the vehicle from a range and torque and everything perspective. Even the autopilot. I've really gotten used to the autopilot. Not that you use it all the time, but it's something that you definitely get used to, which is like, what's the autopilot on another car? Doesn't even have one, right? Like there's a lot of unknowns when the industry is relatively new. And you think about it, I mean, these guys just started making cars, actually just started making cars, 10, 12 years ago? So a lot of anxiety and fear just instantaneously came out because I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, even kind of for the test drive. And let's talk about range. For example, this range on the Model 3 is like 390 kilometers, and on the MachE, it's 340. Yet the MachE's got a bigger battery, and this one has a lower battery, 60 kilowatts versus 75. So instantaneously, you have a lot of questions that you need to think about, and that's where a lot of anxiety came out. So obviously I had a lot of anxiety around, hey, just even testing it out, switching it. But at the end of the day, I told myself, look, it is still an electric vehicle. An electric vehicle is the future. I mean, they are already here. They're going to take over every single thing, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a Tesla or if it's the Ford Mustang Mach-E. These things do not run on old dinosaurs. Period. The old combustion engine is dead. It's gonna be around for a while, but ultimately this is the future. So you know what? Let's go find out exactly what my experience was and why I actually decided to trade my Tesla in, which obviously, as you can tell, I really love.